It was a world of pure imagination, but for many of the attendees, that world wasn't about all chocolate rivers and golden tickets. It was about just being a normal kid.
The Prom is for any cancer patient that's in active treatment or has been in treatment the last year. And when you suffer an illness, it's exhausting. And you don't get to do the normal things in life. And so this is so important for the families to be able to come and do just what everybody else does, is go to school dance, get dressed up, and have, sort of something to look forward to.
Over 350 Riley patients and families attended the Riley Cancer Center Prom, including 9-year-old Eli Diltz and his Bloomington family.
I think we kind of got an idea last year how big it was when all the doctors and nurses were saying, "Are you coming to prom? Are you coming to prom?" And we couldn't because he was so sick. My son Eli was diagnosed with medulloblastoma in November of 2010. We took him in for a checkup. They wanted to do a head CT just to make sure everything was okay, and then it wasn't. So we found ourselves at Riley that same night. He was in surgery the next day, and then we were on a journey for the next 9 months, basically. They did a tumor resection, and then he underwent 33 rounds of radiation, 6 months of chemo, which left him unable to walk, talk, feed himself, everything. So he had to learn all of that all over again while he was going through treatment. Unfortunately, the whole world doesn't halt on its axis, even though you want it to.
The one thing that I found that when we had a sick child, people would always say, "What can I do to help?" And you're in the midst of sometimes a crisis, or you're just overwhelmed, and you're so overwhelmed that you can't really pinpoint one thing. And so this is important to me because the families didn't say, "We want this." We just said, "Let us do something to help you." Even for a little while. We might not be able to take away all the hurt and all the pain, but maybe we can give you a little bit of fun.
Hosted by the Women for Riley organization, the annual festivities began with Promingdales. Over 1,000 donated dresses, tuxedos, shoes, and accessories lined the shelves of the makeshift boutique.
It all kind of, I think, came to a cumulative effect in March when we got his last set of scans, and they were definitively clear, and they took his port out, and that was the last step. Like, that was their statement of, he doesn't need any more treatment, and we're sure of that. So let's move on to the next step. So, and that actually came right about the time of Promingdales and all that stuff. So this is like our celebration party, I think, of the end of a really long year and a half for him. What's been really great is to see all the kids that were on the unit with him, because we've seen a couple of his friends and they're all happy and healthy and they have hair. And it's just nice to see people outside of the hospital setting. It means being a normal kid again, to be able to get out and do that fun kid stuff. He's here eating candy, and for months he couldn't eat anything. He was on a tube feed, and he can dress himself now and feed himself, and he can get out on the dance floor and talk to his doctors and talk to his nurses. And I think it's just one of the last steps back into really normal life for him. Tonight, to see some of these doctors that haven't seen Eli since he was an inpatient on the unit and incredibly sick, and to see the nurses that had to administer chemo to him once a week for 6 months, to see the looks and the smiles on their faces when they see him walking, talking. They see those kids at their absolute worst. They see us at our absolute worst. They carry us through days, and they're up with us all night. And I think it's so incredibly important for them to see us smiling and having showered for a change, and mainly to see kids like Eli just functioning like a normal child, so that I can't imagine what it's like to work with that day in and day out, the sadness and the pain that all the doctors and nurses see. So I just think it's vital that they, at the end of the day, at the end of all this, what they do for these kids and for us. Because of them, the 5 of us are here, as a family. So it's just been it was an incredible journey, and we met incredible people, and we still continue to meet incredible people. And yeah, we'll just forever be indebted to Riley for our son.